vaping with the Ohmies. Vape, 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 vaping with the Ohmies. Welcome everybody, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to some dudes in case you don't know. First we got Aziz all the way from Kuwait. Always got a point when it's time for debate. Oh my Lanta, some call him Dan. Got the dad jokes in the palm of his hand. Boom Sauce McNasty got his eyes on the news. Got his ear to the streets and he's down for the crew. Next up is Clown, the DIY king. Got a juice line and some coils that sing. Then there's a bear who's smarter than average. Quick with a wit, his name Vapor Swaggins. Then there's the homie, we know him as Frames. And too many guests to remember the names. Together they make up this killer vape panel. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Vape, vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Vape, vaping with the Ohmies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. What's in the news, Poon Sauce? Alright guys, it's that time for Dan's dad joke of the week.
What is going on, Ohmies? Luckily, you're muted for that. But of course, we are back for another episode. I think we're on episode 43 now. And of course, you can see we do have two lovely guests joining us tonight. We got my man who hangs out with me every Friday over there in the green room, Sean Typhon, a.k.a. the Angry Hippie. Of course, you catch him on Wednesdays as well. Sean's over here, Stan's over here.
I was all mixed
Corey,
up.
and then
don't know what to do.
Dan. But anyways, of course, we got Sean Typhon in the house, kind of filling in this week because we are down to Swaggins and a Clown Vapes. But of course, hopefully they'll be back next week. And we do have Mr. Tenacious TX Vapes, aka Stan, in the house. What's going on, Stan?
Hi.
So of course, we're going to do what we normally do, guys. Talk about what we're going to be vaping on throughout the night. So with that, I'm going to throw it off to Dan. What do you got tonight, bro?
I just got two things. Unicorn Vert with that RDA for vaping. As I was told on the Shed Time podcast today, it is the RDA for vaping.
Yeah, according to Breezetones.
Yes, with Breezetone coils in there. And I have that Duo Peach Raspberry. And then I just have my little work banger, Aegis Solo K-Fun 2019 with Peach Ice from Salt Solution, whatever. It's delicious. I love it. That's what I have. I want to hear what my brother from another mother, Stan Parnacious, what do you got tonight?
That's me.
Yeah.
So I got a few things. I dwindled it down to the bare essentials. I got the clutch with the Ardent on top. Oh, bam. Oh, shit. Bam.
There you go.
Q-tip on top.
To have on there. Holy crap.
Ooh, pretty.
What?
That's a tall Addy to have on there.
Dude, it goes all the way to the edge, no hangover. Isn't that awesome?
Wow.
Freaking bomb, brah. And then I got I'm going to have to hit this button every time. Are you serious?
Debbie?
I got the Monarch with the goat on top with some for British eyes only coils in there with a DHD tip. And then I got the Dreamer V1.5. That time it did it on its own. V1.5 with the barrage on top of that. And last but certainly not least, I've got the
Ooh.
Visionary Mods Ballet.
Would you look at that?
Skyline RTA on top. Inside all of these, I have. Are you ready, Dan? I've got Pear Parfait from Crumbs. I've got Apple Paradise.
Oh my God.
I've got
Be paranacious, friends.
Paramon.
Oh, yes.
62 distribution. And last but certainly not least, I got Detox from 5150.
You're missing one, Stan. You got to have Pearberry.
Oh, that's I drink. I vaped all of it.
Well, I hope you didn't. We do not condone anybody doing this. Do not do that, guys. Do not do this at home.
No.
Stan.
But that's me. How about Mr. the man-child himself, Poon Sauce McNasty?
Man-child.
Yes. The man-child.
Pretty accurate. Not gonna lie, that's pretty accurate. What's going on, everybody? I got a few things. Of course, I got the Tenacious Unicorn. Matchy. And inside of there, I got some Raz Bizzle from Elysian Labs. And then next, I got my Keen with that brand new in my collection, the FU Turk V2 with the blood money tip on there. And inside of there, I got from our wonderful sponsors over at Rescued, I got some Vengeance in there. And now finally, the coup de grace, the setup to me, it's the setup to end all setups, because this thing is just, I got to give a huge shout out to Ashton. He did such a good job on this. But got my brand new custom coated Death Wish King of Hearts.
Ooh.
Ugh.
It's so pretty.
I can just stare at it. And then inside of there, I got our good friend, and of course, he's a co-host over on the Green Room, some Uncle Chris's butterscotch custard in there.
Oh, yeah.
Fire.
And yeah, that's all I got going. And who we have left? Mr. Sean Typhon. What do you got?
Oh, that's me. How you doing, everybody? I'm Sean Typhon. I'm here, so Vapor Swaggins doesn't have to be. Up first, I've got the Keen and the Axial with that platinum balls drip tip.
That's a sexy setup, bro.
Yeah, super clean, super sexy. You know how we Green Room always do it. We always got to keep it super fly, super match game. Inside of that, got my Clockwork Vapors Georgie. Shout out to our sponsor over on the Green Room, Steel Valley Vapor, friends of sponsors over here, Rescue D Liquid. Up next, I've got the Vapor SO Gen and the Amit MTL by Geek Vape. A little bit more of an old school MTL tank. Got a little funky drip tip on there, just kind of bringing that blue wall together. And got some of that Uncle Chris butterscotch custard in a 12 milligram 50-50 blend just for my MTL vaping needs. And then lastly, I got this guy right here, the Just Right Edition Unicorn Bastard, and that unicorn, the OG unicorn cap that fits on top of an OG goon deck.
Oh, snap, son.
Oh, yeah. In case people didn't know, you can get a 24 millimeter cap and throw it on that goon deck.
And vice versa.
Yeah. And then I've got that Blood Money drip tip from DHD, that chop top, because DHD chop tops are life. And Alex from Clockwork Vapor is in that. And that's it for me. Off to you, James.
All right. So I got a couple things here tonight. I'll start off with this one since, Stan's here. Of course, I got to rock a Dreamer. Got my Murdered Out Dreamer set up with that black stainless button on there as well, with the barrage on top, because this setup right here is just super sexy. I just love the way that this looks. Of course, got a sea glass chop top on top of there, because this is one of my favorite DHD tips. And inside of this, like Sean was saying, shout outs to Steel Valley Vapor. I've got some of that prototype toffee custard or custard toffee. I'm not 100% sure what he's going to end up naming it, but this is going to be a new flavor coming to the bottled violence line very soon, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm actually going to probably finish this off tonight just because it's that good, and I didn't get a whole lot of it, so I've kind of been savoring it over the weekend so I could vape a little bit of it throughout this week. Next setup I've got, of course, got my Vaping with the Ohmies edition Ruby 21 coated by my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders with a Blood Money chop top on top of there by Miss Jess Marie herself. I got some For British Eyes Only aliens inside of this bad boy as well, so shout outs to Ryan. And got to have some Bloodbath by Nick Drips. This is actually that Palmer's Powders Private Reserve. Of course, Palmer's Powder Coated Mod. Got to put the Nick Drips inside of it. It's a strawberry red vines, and it is absolutely delicious. So big shout outs to Ashton just for that whole setup right there, pretty much. And then last but not least, I've got my Clutch by Davpo, Signature Tips, and Mike Vapes with that limited edition FU or Fuck You Turk V2 with, of course, another Blood Money chop top on top of there because chop tops are life. And got some Banana Land inside of there, some of that Boule Bolu on top of some, Turk coils, some of them 27 gauge aliens, just ripping and just tasting ever so delicious. And with that, I think that, I do have one little setup here as well. My little mouth to lung for tonight. My Dwarv 22 MTL on top of the Baby Vert from Althana and Unicorn Vapes Inc. And inside of this, I have some 12 milligram butterscotch custard from my main man, Overdrip. And that's going to be it for that. But before we get into the news segment for this week, guys, I do want to give a huge shout out to all of our amazing sponsors. Rescued E-Liquid, you guys already know we're huge fans of their liquids. They have absolutely delicious flavors. Ben is one of my all-time favorites. It's that guava lemonade, but they've got all kinds of different stuff. They've got, Vulcan right there, I believe, is what Vulcan, strawberry kiwi, Vengeance, caramel banana candy. They got all kinds of cool stuff. They also have the Pack Leader line, which has got a vanilla peppermint, and of course Nico, which will be dropping very soon, which is a snickerdoodle custard. You guys can go check them out over on rescuedeliquid.com and use the code Ohmies for 10% off of your order, and you can use the code BARK20 for $20 off a $100 order. So take advantage of those codes. Go grab some up. You could also grab up some Bottled Violence over there as well if you're interested in some of those flavors. Of course, we also got to shout out OPMH Project. The Fountain is one of my all-time favorite liquid lines when it comes down to the Blast Off, coated, or cherry ice. All absolutely delicious flavors. They're all like kind of citrus soda based flavors with a little bit of a mix of fruits from here and there. Like Blast Off is like a tropical citrus slushy, which tastes very reminiscent of Baja Blast Mountain Dew. But they also got coated, which is like a cherry citrus slushy. They have delicious flavors when it comes down to that. They've got the Real Deal Custard line. They have Watson, which is a award-winning tobacco line as well. You guys can go check them out, opmhproject.com. They also do distribution and wholesale. If you guys have a shop out there and interested in picking them up, go check them out there. And of course, huge shout out goes out to Texas Candy CBD, I believe is I'm forgetting the website off the top of my head, but of course Caviar, the gummies that you guys have seen us use from time to time. I don't have a bag with me at the moment.
I ate all mine.
But you guys can go over there to their website. Liv has a link for you guys that she'll drop. Of course, no, it's not going to be a clickable link, but you guys can go check them out at TexasCandyCaviar.com. Use the code Ohmies for 10% off of your order. They've got all kinds of great stuff over there. And of course, you can reach out to Mr. Anthony Ramella himself if you guys have any questions about anything they may carry. Or you can go follow them on Instagram as well at their account. And you can DM them there for any information that you may need. And with all that, guys, it is time to move into our news segment for this week. Of course, you get a little bit of it here now on Mondays. You get a whole, hour, sometimes an hour and a half, 2 hours on Wednesday over on the Poon Sauce McNasty channel, of course, with Mr. Sean Typhon, the Angry Hippie, and Poon Sauce McNasty himself. It is time for a little bit of What's in the News, Poon Sauce.
Okay, so this has resurfaced on us we knew there was a scheduled nationwide flavor ban, pretty much fronted by the good and wonderful Mike Bloomberg. So, that's just, we don't need to talk about him.
He's a hoe.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about him. He doesn't deserve the recognition. But it looks like HR 2339 last April was pretty much out there to destroy vaping as we know it. and it has resurfaced. It is now being voted on through the House this Thursday. If you guys don't know what this bill would essentially do, is let's say if it went through the House and then passed through the Senate as well. Okay, let me just kind of give you guys a little bit of perspective of what this would do to the vaping industry as we know it. It could be a flavor ban, which would prohibit any kind of characteristic flavor that isn't tobacco. And if there was a way to get like a flavored product out there, it would have to be approved by the FDA, and it would have to be proven to significantly increase the likelihood of it being a smoking cessation, which is kind of weird to me since you got to think about it. That research is already out there to the public. I mean, look out there, you can see that 80% of people who vape don't use tobacco liquids. At least 80%, I would say. Then that flavored products is what got people off smoking in the first place. And next, it would ban online sales. Then we got this lovely, lovely FDA user fee that I despise because it gives the FDA authority to collect $100 million in user fees from the vaping industry annually. So pretty much, I think they would set it to maybe be like a yearly thing to where the industry itself has to pay the FDA $100 million, which if you think about it, how many mom and pop shops out there or mom and pop little businesses that wouldn't be able to even put that kind of money up, because some of them, to be honest, are going from week to week with staying open with all these bans already in place and the scarce amount of people that don't want to vape because this so-called teen epidemic that people still think exists. And they would be, let's see, what else? They're going to regulate synthetic nicotine, which pretty much the FDA would put dampers on and be the ones regulating any kind of nicotine vapor product. And then advertising the restrictions on advertising pretty much. So any kind of advertising you see on like Instagram or any kind of social media, they would probably put a damper on. And for a while, we thought this thing kind of blew through, just never happened with it. And then suddenly out of nowhere, I believe yesterday, Jim McDonald put on there that on Vaping 360 that it's being voted on through the House this Thursday. So this is a very, very important thing. And he even states on there that this is the perfect time to show for the vaping industry to show our government standpoint pretty much and how loud we can be. We've done it before. We'll do it again.
What are your thoughts on this, Dan?
My thoughts are get your butts to the phones, man. It's if you look at the backers, it's 118 backers. 117 are left-wing Democrats. 117 are Democrats. One is Republican. So obviously, you see that. That doesn't mean a whole lot to me because, like you said, it was introduced a year ago or so, and people could have changed their mind since. So you don't really know which way people are going to vote. I do know that with everything that they're putting ahead and it being such an impact on an industry, hopefully the Republicans won't let it go through because it impacts the industry so hard. I also know that they're trying to close up loopholes. That was the whole point of the amendment, because basically it was a whole lot of definitions and things that they were changing, like with the nicotine tobacco product stuff. The ends definition, I believe it was, they included any nicotine that does not come from tobacco is also included as a tobacco product. Yeah, they clarified that so that there's no like loophole around it or anything with say the TFN and stuff, tobacco free nicotine.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Shoot.
It's a pain in the butt with all the state stuff, and then it's a pain in the butt with the federal stuff, but I still think you have to keep the federal stuff at bay while you battle the state stuff. I think if it goes through federally, then we have an even harder fight because a lot of states will jump on board with whatever. I know Texas is like that. If the nation decides something like pot's illegal, then Texas is like pot's illegal. You know what I'm saying? That's so same kind of thing. If they do like a federal flavor ban, Texas will be like, well, it's a federal flavor ban. We're not going to deal with it kind of thing. That's usually how they go. And that sucks. So just make sure you get on the phones, make sure you call people, especially if your state has a Democratic representative. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know what to think other than just we got to keep talking to them.
Yeah, because going into Thursday, this bill already has 126 co-sponsors, and pretty much all
went
members,
up.
all 126 co-sponsors that have been already indicated their support. Pretty much saying, like, when you go onto the bills, like I'm like where you can see who back it.
Yeah, a couple days ago it was 118. What's the ratio now? Is it still only one Republican?
But it doesn't say.
It should tell you right there at the bottom.
Let me see. Well, I'm not on the actual Bill's website itself. I'm on looking at the article. So 126 co-sponsors and 218 votes to pass the House.
Anthony Ramelis said, is the federal rules even going to matter if these states make so much stricter rules? That's the point I was trying to make, is if you don't keep the federal at bay, then the states will turn it over even easier, in my opinion, or more aggressively.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
There's a quote that's in this article, and it's probably the most important one I see out of here. It's involves everybody, involves every vapor out there. And pretty much it says, without our participation, the strident voices of anti-vaping activists will win the day. And that's it's the truth, really. If not, all of us aren't going to be out there and be vocal and let our voices be heard, then the antis are going to win. Pretty much, it's that simple. If there is any time to get loud, if you didn't think there was a time before to get loud, now is definitely the time.
You got anything you want to add to this, Sean? I see you down there, bro. I see you.
It's one of those things, man. I'm gonna be honest. It's ugly because there's a lot of support for that. The fact is, though, is that we have such a divided political structure that the likelihood of it getting through the Senate is pretty slim. For one, strictly on the grounds that this is also election season, and the Republican-controlled Senate will do anything to limit the Democrats that are trying to run for various offices. On the flip side of that, they've weaponized children, and that is the dangerous thing about this, is that they've weaponized children. And when you bring that into the equation, it becomes a very bipartisan issue, because nobody wants to be the scumbag that didn't want to support and save the kids.
Yeah.
So what I think is that it's a moot point. I think the Senate is going to look at it and say that this deeming regulation deadline for the PMTAs is coming up in May. And by the time we even get involved with voting on this foolish flavor ban nonsense, all of these products will be coming off the market due to that. So all of that in mind, I encourage everybody to write, to call, to be as active as possible, because the opposition needs to be heard. I don't believe that it's as big a threat as it appears to be, but we need to make sure that we do our part to keep it that way.
We just got to continue to stay vigilant.
I didn't think about it, but the the fact that they've driven a wedge so far between Democratic candidates and Republican candidates may be the only thing we got going for us. This is like the farthest they've been separated in a long time. It's like
Right.
people like you and me are starting to hate each other because they believe one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's just outright ridiculous. And it seems like the candidates are encouraging that type of behavior. But that may be the only thing we got going for us. Like you said, I mean, the Republicans may just want to vote everything that they want to put up against, out of it because of the fact that they could lose any kind of power whatsoever to the Democrats.
Yeah.
Right. If they can strip them of that win, then they can strip them of that win, and it's one less victory. And that kind of divisivism may play in our favor, and likely will play in our favor, because when it comes down to the issues that the Senate wants to most focus on, vaping isn't one of them.
Well, I got a hypothetical question for all you guys that relates to this. Say it wasn't election season. Say the Democrats and the Republicans weren't so divided. How do you guys think that this bill would have handled without that being a factor? Do you think let's just say it's not election season and there wasn't so much hostility between the Democrats and Republicans, do you think it would have gotten to the point to where we definitely need to be worried? Because I feel like I would definitely need to be.
In all honesty, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really necessarily matter how far a wedge is driven between them. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be worried or be active or be continuing to do what we do. You know what I mean? So I feel like regardless of what that whole situation is, I feel like we should just still be doing as much as we can and fighting as hard as we can. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we got to, like Sean says, we got to make sure the opposing side's voices are heard. You know what I mean? Because if it's just left up to them, they're going to make the decision for us, regardless of how, if they agree or disagree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that whole situation is kind of irrelevant to, like, our fight, because at the end of the day, we just got to continue to fight regardless.
It's a weird conundrum, isn't it? Because basically, if you don't speak up, then the decision gets made for you, and they say, well, you should have spoken up. On the flip side of that, if you do speak up and you speak up loud enough and you have the evidence to show that you did speak up and you show that the democratic system didn't work, then eventually what happens is enough people recognize that you got stuffed, that you got railroaded, and then people side with you, because nobody wants to see a good guy being kept down. And that's what the vape industry and the vape community is as a whole. It's a bunch of good guys being held down by the man.
Yep.
And eventually, everybody who's pure at heart wants to see the good guy win.
It's a great way to look at it.
Absolutely. So, of course, like Corey said, there's an article that you guys can go look at to read up a little bit more on this bill. I'm sure there's a link there to where you can read up on the bill itself and see what it all entails. And, of course, like Stan's saying, see who some of these backers are. Maybe you can send them emails, let them know that you're opposed on this, make some phone
I have
calls.
something.
Absolutely, Dan. What do you got?
The link that I shared with Liv that she'll put in there, I think, pertains to that. It's a link directly to the HR 2339, and it's got the pre-made email go up. You can put little stuff in there and then send it, and you can send one a day. So if Liv will drop that for us, it pertains to this thing we've just been talking about. So
That'd be great. Yeah. So
it finds your representatives. It'll send it out to them. You can send it just as it is, but I would suggest using the body part of the message to write your own little story, and
Don't tell me what to do with my body part.
well, hey.
And if you want to hear more about this, you can always tune in this Wednesday. Me and Sean are going to be diving a lot deeper into this and have full-on discussion about this. And might get a little ragey, but we're going to try to...
They'll sprinkle in some fun there, though, guys. Don't worry.
We always do. We always do.
But with all that, guys, we had some kind of a fun topic that kind of fun, kind of not. I guess it really just depends on how you want to look at it. But we were
Let's
talking
talk about death.
yeah. Let's and some of the things that we would like to do before that happens. You know, like maybe a bucket list per se. I know a lot of us out there probably have one and have maybe some of us have a short one. Maybe some of us have a lengthier one, you know, have a lot of things that we'd like to do. So with this conversation, we're just going to kind of pass it around and see like what some of our bucket list items might be. Maybe like a place we'd like to go or something we'd like to do or somebody we'd like to meet or something like that. So with it, I'm always going to throw it to you, Dan, since you bring up like most of the topic points. So I figured like you've thought about it a little bit at this point. So
I really didn't, but I got a really stupid one.
Oh, dude, I'm so ready for it. Hit us with it, bro. What would be one of your bucket list items?
It's so dumb, but I've never done it, and I really want to upper deck someone's toilet.
Oh my gosh, that's a bucket list item.
It's on my list. It can be anything you want. I just want to do it.
You are not allowed to come to my house.
Yeah, Dan's not allowed at my house.
At least until you
it's
check
so
that one
dumb,
off.
and I knew it was dumb when I was going to say, well,
No.
like, I got to tell them, like, I just want to upper. I've never
You know what?
shat in someone's upper toilet.
Yeah, Dan's still allowed at my house, but he's not allowed he's not allowed to go to the bathroom unattended.
I gotta take a buddy.
Yeah, you gotta take a chaperone to the bathroom, bro.
God.
I can't go while you're looking. You're not shitting in my top toilet. Oh, fuck.
God damn it.
Yeah, what are you gonna
So
do?
dumb.
Number 1 or number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, number 2, you're going outside.
Yeah,
Leave the door open.
yeah.
It's they'll get better, but it's
man.
on my list. I've never done it. It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard, and I want to get it off the list.
All right, so with that, I'm gonna throw it over to Corey on this one to see what Corey's bucket list items might be.
I'm hoping it's way different.
I'm hoping it's kind of
I don't
along
know
the
if there's
same
anything I can do
lines.
to top that, to be honest, but I feel I'll give it a shot. So I love traveling, to be honest. It's one of the things I love seeing. I love going to new places. I love seeing new things. I have 2 bucket list places that I want to travel to, well, countries in general. That Norway is one of them because I'm part Norwegian, and I guess the depth of my family history goes way back in Norwegian history too. So kind of want to go back and see how deep my roots go when it comes to just heritage and everything. But then since I'm like a really big fan of like the Lord of the Rings movies, I want to go to New Zealand and see where a lot of the stuff was
Go to
filmed.
Hobbiton?
Like I want to go to Hobbiton. I want to go to just a lot of land, because a lot of the landmarks you saw in those movies were.
Don't do it, Eileen.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it. Please don't.
Wait, what?
She said I'm scared to
Oh.
Google upper deck.
Sorry,
Don't
I had
do
to get
it.
that warning in there real quick before she did it. Sorry.
If you Google upper deck, I think you'll be fine. Don't Google upper decker.
Yeah, like that's not on my bucket list. Don't worry.
Okay, so you want to go to Norway?
Norway,
Norwegia.
Norwegia. Yeah, Norway or New Zealand. All right.
What about,
I don't know. I was trying. When I went to say it, I thought Norwegian, and I poon sauced it, bro. I poon sauced it.
You did.
So, what about you, Sean? What would be something on your bucket list?
Ooh. Shit. You know, it's really a tough one because I'm one of those people, I don't ever think about that. Like, I don't think about the bucket list stuff. Shit.
Yeah, because I've never really put one together either. But there's like a couple things that I really would like to do at some point. You know?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to get back to California. I'd love to just travel the United States because I've done some as a young child, but I'd like to do it again. Like I'm talking like by car, not by
road trips the way to see
road
it, dude.
trip it, you know, actually like do the Route 66 kind of stuff and actually see the country. I'd love to, you know, photograph some of the abandoned kind of places along the way, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's definitely something for sure that I can at least start with. That's at least a little bit more appropriate than giving somebody the upper decker.
Yeah, definitely. So, what about
your
you?
list, I have mine. Don't judge.
What about you, Stan? What's something that would be on your bucket list?
Just one thing.
We'll go around again.
I really want to finish my 63 Mercury. I want to get it on the road. I want my son to sit in the front seat and cruise with me and kind of experience that thing. I don't even know how to say it. That thing I used to experience with my dad driving around in his old show cars,
Yeah.
It's something I've always wanted to kind of at least let him, because that's especially nowadays. Back then when I was a kid, you could see cars like that still on the road sometimes. And we went to a lot of like swap meets and shows and stuff, and I was around a lot of old cars and things. It was a big part of my life. Jukeboxes, old cars, you guys know this about me, neon lights. And that was something that I always, like, when me and my dad go cruising around in his car, people would look and thumbs ups and stuff. And I just want him to experience something in the time of iPads and cell phones and Xbox, and that's basically all they do.
Yeah.
I want him to hear and feel and smell that old mechanical car,
Yep.
thing, and just like I just
That
want him to experience
carbureted
that with
engine.
me, huh?
That
You know what I'm talking about?
carbureted engine, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's that thing that they always say is bad for you, but it's so good for your
Dude.
soul, dude. Especially like sitting next to your pops and just feeling like he's like the coolest guy ever, cruising around, everybody's giving him thumbs ups, and like you're driving in this car that barely has
Well,
seatbelt in it,
He's not going to get the, oh, your dad's so cool, giving him thumbs ups thing, but he'll get to ride in the cool car at least.
That's true.
No,
That's true. I could give him part of that, right?
You can attempt to.
I have this vision of Stan playing REO Speedwagon, driving down the main street. You know what I mean?
Boston.
Some Boston. But Overdrip said Stan's bucket list is to build as good as me. Top of his list.
Dude, I already beat that, bro. Check
All
out.
right. So I guess it's time for me to kind of throw something in on a bucket list. Something that I've always wanted to do is I rode motorcycles when I was younger. I rode like motocross and stuff like that, and I used to love riding. And my dad's like a huge motorcycle guy. Like he's got a Harley and he goes on rides all the time and stuff like that. But my one thing on my list is to get a bike one day, and like me and my dad just go out on like a road trip on these bikes, like maybe like Sturgis or like one of these like crazy like bike meetups or something like that, and just go on a super long ride, just me, my dad, and our bikes, you know what I mean, just cruising like somewhere, you know what I mean, no destination really in mind, just like going out and just riding, and just enjoying the road, just the fresh air, each other's company, you know what I mean, just the roar of the bikes, like that'd be super dope. Like that's definitely like very high on my bucket list for sure. What about you, Dan? What would be another thing on your list, bro?
You gotta redeem yourself for the first one.
Hey, like I said, it's subjective and it's something I want to do. It make my heart happy and shit on
Everybody else
someone
does.
else's feelings. One of my favorite music DVDs from back in the day was Incubus Live at the Red Rocks.
Oh yeah.
Dude, hell yeah.
I want to see a concert at Red Rocks. It'd be great if it was
Can.
Incubus. It'd be great if it was someone else I liked. I'm really into Tool, so I think that would be phenomenal.
Incubus, Tool, Dave Matthews.
Dude,
freaking-
just Red Rocks looks like the coolest fucking place to see a concert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I was literally gonna say that as my next one as well, is see a concert at Red Rocks.
Well, dude,
dude,
we'll pass it to you and let you like double team
Dude,
that one.
now my bucket list is to see a concert at Red Rocks with Sean.
Yeah,
There you go.
Because like similarly, one of my favorite live concerts that I've seen, and you can actually watch it on YouTube, thankfully, is Pink Floyd live at Red Rocks.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, you talk about Pink Floyd, you're talking about the lasers and all that crazy stuff. So
Dude, that's got to be insane.
you're talking about, for people who don't understand what Red Rocks is, you're talking about a live amphitheater cut out of the rock in Colorado in the middle of the desert.
It's so cool.
So you see a concert
The
out
acoustics are
under
insane.
open starlit skies,
Sunset behind the stage.
like it's utterly a life-changing experience. And you know, I'm a big reggae music fan, and a lot of the reggae bands love to play Red Rock as well. So that would be where I would probably want to be, is, you know, for one of the reggae shows, to catch the good vibes in the outdoors with all of those, you know,
Dude,
you know what I mean? That and Burning Man, dude.
sign me up. I want to go.
I want to go experience Burning Man too. Because, like, Burning Man's another one of those really weird, out in the wild, just in the middle of Nevada's desert. And it's tons of music, it's tons of art, it's tons of weirdos. And that's what I like to be around.
All right, Corey. So what would yours be? What would be next on your list?
I'm trying to think. Come back to me.
All right, Stan. What about you?
I want to go to Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
I want to go to Australia. I want to be there for like 4 or 5 days and brave the wilderness. Live the wilderness, which is basically everywhere. Because I hear everything can kill you there. So I just want to go to Australia and come back and be like, I did it.
I survived.
I got a shirt to prove it.
Yeah.
That would definitely be cool. Have you thought of anything, Corey?
Yep, I got it.
All right.
Okay, and I think this is one of the biggest ones since it's become like a new passion of mine. I've always wanted to open up my own craft brewery. I don't know, it's something that I think would be right up my alley. I know exactly the kind of environment I would have, like the labeling on the cans, and just each beer I would kind of have like, I would try to make it all metal themed a little bit, where each beer is named after, like, well, it's not named after a metal band, but it's just like
Inspired by.
it's definitely inspired by the labels on the cans. That would just be freaking gory, and just have like the names of the beer would be like in like death metal, like insignia and all that stuff. It would just be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sick.
Disemboweler, shit like that for your fucking beer names. I love it.
That would be pretty intense.
If I ever get rich, I am going to be a financial backer to Corey's Craft Brewery, because I love that idea.
Right? That'd be pretty dope.
I'm going to be a taste tester.
Dude, for me, one thing that's also on my bucket list is I'm a huge, well, I've kind of fallen off. I haven't followed baseball as much recently as I used to, but I was a huge Red Sox fan, and I've always have wanted to see the Sox play live at Fenway, because Fenway is one of my all-time favorite fields. You know, I got the big green monster, you know what I mean? Of course, the Sox are my favorite team, of course, which I know is weird because I'm from California, but I've always been a Sox fan. It'd just be,
who you like, man.
Dude, it would just be awesome, you know what I mean? Just to go out there, you know, see the green monster, see the Sox play, just see Boston in general, because just going to like and seeing the city of Boston has always been something that's been on my bucket list, because like I don't know why I've always been infatuated with Boston, like the Boston area.
I got you.
I know it, which is crazy because my boy Sean and my boy Swags are like from that area, and it's just like we never knew each other up until a couple years ago, and it's just like it's crazy because we're like the same dudes but just on different coasts. It's crazy, it's weird, but it's like I was meant to go to Boston at some point. So yeah, I gotta go just see the city, see Fenway, you know, just experience it. That's one thing I definitely need to do.
Take James to Tasty Burger, and then he can get a Fenway Frank.
Yeah, dude.
Watch a baseball game. He'll be all set, kid. We'll walk down to the Harvard Yard, so you can see that nobody can actually park in Harvard Yard because Harvard is an enclosed area.
Dude, I'm down, bro. I'm so down for sure. So with that, guys, we still got about 15 minutes left here. So,
we got an email.
Dude, do we want to touch on the email?
I mean, we might as well.
All right, you got it pulled up there, Dan?
Cool kid.
Yeah, I got it right here. It's from For British Eyes Only.
Ooh.
Oh, that character. This
And
will
he
be good.
says, so vaping has been around since about 2009, and everyone seems to have a different definition of the term old school vapes. To me, an old school setup is pre-2016, but that might be because I started vaping in 2015. What do you consider an OG or old school vape? Sincerely, your friend, your peer, your stooge, Ryan.
I like this. I can go first.
Go for it.
I'm with Ryan for British Eyes Only. I feel like anything from like 2015 and forward is like old school. And then you've got that like mid old school, which is like your 2016 to like 2017 range. Because there's some stuff that was like the very end of 2015, beginning of 2016.
This is how I'd put it for me, I think. For me, I'd be like, I'm kind of going along the same lines as you, Sean, but I'm going to change the terms here. For me, like anything pre-2016 or anything like that, I'm going to call classic vapes. You know what I mean? You know, like your like when it gets to music, you know, you got your classic rock and then you got, you know, your old school stuff. So like those would be the classics. And then, you know, once you get into like, you know, after 2016, 2017, that's when you get into kind of some of the old school stuff. You know, it's not necessarily classic yet, but it's getting there. And then, you know, kind of work your way up like that. That's how I think about it. I think about it in like music terms. Because, I don't know, that's just kind of how I play it out.
I'd say to me, like,
to be good though.
Huh?
Like, you know, classics have to be good though.
No, dude, it's just a term, bro. I don't mean like it's legitimately like music, bro. Come on, man.
I don't know. I'd have to say it all have to depend on when you started for the most part. Your classic or your old school might be different than mine because I'm coming up on 4 years. You know, some of you have been vaping.
Well, yeah, dude.
Longer than that. Like old school to me is a Rouleau 200 with a fucking original goon, an OG goon. That's old school to me. You know what I mean? Because vape stuff like changes every fucking 2-3 weeks.
In car speak, that's like early 90s, late 80s Fox body style stuff. That's not old school.
Yeah.
To me, you know what I'm
saying?
Well,
that's old school to me, though.
For me, old school is like my Monster V3 and K-Fun and my Tofo Freak Show. And, you know, that's old school to me.
Yeah.
So, like, that's all pre-2016.
The Kangaroo Pro
right
Tank.
At 2016. Huh?
The Kangaroo Pro Tank.
Kangaroo Pro Tank. That's like the Hyundai from the 80s.
Well, how about like Provaris and shit like that? You know,
oh,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
dude.
that's the OG fucking Ferraris from back then.
What about you, Corey? Where are you sitting on this one?
Evan Sanders knows what's up.
See, even though I started vaping like around the same time Dan did, I would like back when I first started, I would still look into a little bit of like the OG stuff back then. I actually kind of got my hands on stuff. Like I got getting my hands on the, what is it? The OG, was it the Mad Hatter? Like mech? The one where it was a weird freaking top cap where the top cap actually flipped up.
Oh, yeah, that's the Mad Hatter.
Yeah. Like
that was RDA,
like,
yeah.
Like seeing stuff like that, and then like seeing like the whole small little AIOs where it was like the clearimizers and stuff. I love looking at that kind of stuff because it's kind of, you can't really talk about where we're going as an industry without looking back at what started it pretty much.
Pens with beauty rings, bro.
Right?
Real quick.
Don't forget the charms, tank charms.
Ego chargers.
Real quick, too, guys, just because we were running a little short on time, we got about 10 minutes left, and we got two things that I want to do here. First thing is we've got a little bit of a trivia question that is brought to you guys by one of our amazing sponsors. Shout out to Anthony Morella over there with Texas Candy Caviar. We've got a little trivia question for you guys to get an opportunity to possibly grab up a 1,000 milligram bag of some CBD gummies. So what you got to do is we're going to ask you a trivia question, and then you're going to go ahead and just drop your answers in the chat here. Once we find the winner, what we're going to do is we'll have you guys send us an email with your information, all your, just everything, photo ID, all that good stuff. We'll get that taken care of, and we'll get you guys sent out something. So with this, we got a question sent in from Anthony Ramello. Let me pull it up here because I have it open on my other screen. Trivia question today is, when Grim Green started his channel in 2009, he worked in a warehouse. What shift did he work? First, second, or third? All right, guys.
I know the answer. Can I win?
Wait for the
No.
delay.
Oh,
Negativo. Stan Stevo.
So go ahead and start. If you guys know, start dropping them in chat. And boom, off the bat right there already. First one in for British Eyes Only. Graveyard, third shift is the correct answer.
Bonus points for using the term graveyard.
Yes,
Anthony
dude.
Ramello said I
Bonus
can't
points.
Google that shit.
Yeah, dude. So,
Google that.
dude, congratulations, Ryan. Dude, just send us your information and all that good stuff, and we'll get you in contact with Anthony and get you hooked up. So, big shout outs to Texas Candy Caviar for, hooking you guys up with, some cool giveaways. We're going to start doing these little trivia questions here at the end of the shows from time to time for you guys' chance to possibly get a hold of some. So definitely hang out to the end of the shows every week because you never know when we're going to do it. So definitely stay tuned for that. But of course, we can't end the show without adding some more songs to the playlist, guys. Of course, if you have not been staying tuned to the Ohmies the past few weeks, we have started a Spotify/YouTube Premium music playlist of all of our favorite songs from everybody here on the panel to even pulling one from out there in chat from you guys as well. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and each one of us are going to throw up one or two songs onto the playlist this week. So with that, I'm going to throw it off. You know what? Let's have Stan throw the first song on the playlist this week. What would be your first pick, Stan?
Do I get one or two?
We'll do one at a time. One will
All right.
we'll come back
I love
around.
this idea, by the way. I love the playlist idea that you guys are doing.
Aw.
And you know what? It wouldn't be a badass playlist without my favorite band of all time being on it, Coheed and Cambria. You can laugh, Dan. It's okay.
No, I said I knew it.
We all did.
Century the Defiant.
What is it?
Century the Defiant by Coheed and Cambria. That's the first one.
All right. So, you know what? After Stan, I'm going to throw it to Sean to see what Sean got for us this week because I feel like it's going to be on the total opposite end of that Coheed. So what you got for us this week, Sean?
It's going to be Hyries, Good Vibration.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I'm about it. I am with it. I love it. Let's do it. And what about you, Dan? Do you got a song for this week, bro? What are you picking out, man?
We're gonna go back. Hold on. Let me add.
I think
this real
Evan
quick.
Sanders, did we just become best friends? I think we just became best friends.
I had it here.
Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Let's go with. We are gonna go old school. First album, Breaking Benjamin. The song Sugarcoat. If no one knows that, you're about to learn something.
All right. And what about you, Poon Sauce? What you got, bro?
I got the song Hourglass by Era.
Hourglass by Era. All right. For me this week, I'm going to go with I'm gonna pick a good one. Something different. I should have thought about this a little bit beforehand. You know what? I'm going to go with it's going to be a country song, guys. I know not everybody likes it, but this is one that I've been listening to quite a bit lately, and it's one that, every time I listen to it, gets stuck in my head. But it's going to be the Zac Brown Band, Chicken Fried.
Nice.
I don't know what it is. It's just one of them catchy tunes. Every time it pops on, I just dig it. I love it. And Zac Brown Band's the shit. Like, they don't...
Yeah, you can listen. That's one of those bands you listen all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the way through.
Absolutely. So, what's going to be your next pick, Stan?
My next pick, I'm going to take you guys into a little bit of Stan's youth. But I'm not going to take you way back to all the stuff I like the Everly Brothers and all that stuff. I'm not going to go way back that far. We're going to go into alternative age, when grunge was big and everything. This isn't a grunge band, but if you remember this band, Space Hog. In the meantime. That's my next one.
All right. And with that,
You guys don't even know the song, do you?
Nope.
Never heard of it.
over my head on that
Yeah,
one.
you have. You've heard it.
What about you, Sean? What are you going to throw on this one?
Oh, if you guys don't know this one, I promise you're all gonna love this song. It's Psycho Stick. We ran out of CD space.
I've seen Psycho Stick.
Uh,
They're hilarious in concert.
they're such a good band, and we ran out of CD space. It's such a brilliant song. It makes you think of wonderful things like where did the squirrels go during hurricanes, and what if a hot dog was your tongue. So yeah, like definitely great song.
All right.
You rescued and Uncle Chris know what's up.
So what's up, Corey? What's your next pick?
Let's see. I got the song Momenta by Auras.
What was that?
Momenta by Auras.
All right. And for
All I
me,
heard was emo.
I'm going complete opposite. I'm going complete opposite of the last one I did. I'm going with The Offspring. Self-Esteem.
Yes.
Dig it. Good song. Love that.
Gotta love The Offspring, bro. Anytime I listen to The Offspring, it brings me back to like when I was younger and like during the summertime, going camping at Lake Havasu, just cruising around on the river on the boat. You know what I mean? Bumping Offspring. Good times, man. Good memories. So
that was
with
one of the first shows I ever saw, bro.
I
dude.
didn't add my second one.
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
You're good. Non-point, Bring Me Down.
Ooh.
It's a good tune.
All right. So with all that, of course, hopefully you guys have been dropping some of your suggestions for a song to add onto the playlist out there in chat. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to we'll have Stan scroll through the chat and see if there's a song that jumps out at you that someone's thrown in that we should add to the playlist.
All right. do 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 do. Don't worry about a thing. Ooh, Thin Lizzy. Yes, Shoestring Tom's got it. The boys are back in town.
Dude, he's been saying that song for like the past couple weeks, and I'm glad someone finally picked it.
Dude, I had that album on vinyl growing up. On the back, that was on Jailbreak, and the B-side of Boys Are Back in Town. I don't remember the name of it, but B-side was awesome.
Playlist is getting good, guys. We're up to, I got 61 songs on there right now.
All right. Well, shit, that's not too shabby. So we are running down to the last few minutes here, guys. So we're going to do what we normally do a little sign-outs, talk about what we got coming up on everybody's various channels and shows and whatever else we've got going on. So with that, I'm going to throw it over to Poon Sauce. What you got coming up this week, bro?
Yeah, same thing as usual. You can catch me and Sean over on my channel on Wednesdays for another episode of What's in the News. We're going to dig deep into a little bit of what we talked about today, kind of find out a little bit more about the people backing this bill as well. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, you can catch me over here every Monday.
All right. And what about you, Sean? I got to hear your sign out, bro. It's one of my favorite things.
Well, guys, you can check out the Shed Time Podcast over there on SoundCloud. That's soundcloud.com/Shed Time Podcast. We just dropped a fantastic episode with our homeboy Breeze Tones talking about coffee and coils. It's fucking such a good show.
Steve Jones.
So definitely go check that out. Of course, you can catch me and my brother Frames Jenkins and our homeboy Overdrip, the Canadian killer himself. And you can catch us on the Frames Jenkins Vapor channel Fridays at 8 p.m. Other than that, I'd be remiss in my duties if I didn't just say it right. Remember, don't let those bastards get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And yeah, let's make vaping fun again.
Absolutely. And what about you, Stan? What you got coming up this week?
What do I have coming up this week? Tomorrow, I have a video dropping, a little bit of a how-to tech time modification mod video for you guys to check out. And then we have a high-end vape forum this weekend, and of course, vape stew on. Actually, there might not be a vape stew. I might have to go to a dance with my daughter, which.
Well, you
would
know
be
what,
totally
dude?
acceptable.
That is totally acceptable.
Yes.
Good dad gang.
Good
All
dad
day.
gang all day for sure. So
just keep an eye on the
Approved.
channel, and I'll be letting y'all know.
yeah, so definitely go check out that cool video he's got going up tomorrow, guys. It's gonna be it's actually a pretty cool video. I got to give it to Stan. And how long has it been since you guys seen a pre-recorded Stan Tenacious TX Vapes video? I know it's been a while for me, so
I didn't
I'm
have a
stoked
beard.
about it.
That's how long it's been.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys. So I'm stoked for that. Definitely go check that out tomorrow. Of course, it wouldn't be the end of Vaping with the Ohmies without that special segment that Dan waits for every week. He's super excited for it. He's ready for it. He's got something planned. Hopefully it's good. It is time for Dan's Dad Joke of the Week.
It's gonna be a little different. It's more of a story joke, but you're gonna like it. All right. So, grandson goes to his grandfather's funeral. He's talking to his grandma. He's like, "Grandma, like, how did Grandpa die?" "Well, it happened during sex." I'm like, "Oh, so he got too overexcited?" She's like, "Well, we timed it out with the church bells. So church bell go off, ding, he'd slip it in, dong, he'd slip it out, ding, he'd slip it in, dong, she'd slip it out." Like, "Oh, that's sounds all right." She's like, "Yeah, and he'd still be here if it wasn't for that fucking ice cream truck."
Oh man. That's hilarious too, because before the show there's literally an ice cream truck outside of my window. And I was like, man, I hope this thing goes away before the show starts. And then Dan's like, I kind of hope it's still here because we're going to have that would have been hilarious. But yeah, thank you for that, guys. Of course, definitely stay tuned for next week for another little bit of What's in the News with Corey. Of course, another dad joke from Dan. Add some more songs to the playlist and some more great conversation. Of course, you guys can also go over to my channel and check out the new video that I just dropped. It's a little dive into my coil drawer, taking a look at some of my favorite builds, some of my favorite builders and stuff like that. So you guys can go check that out. Of course, I'll be trying to put out another video for you guys on Wednesday as well, so stay tuned. If it doesn't happen, I apologize, but I'm going to try to make it happen for you guys. And of course, without fail, we'll be back on my channel every Friday for the Green Room, like Sean says, with Overdrip, Sean, myself. We'll have some cool guests. It's going to be awesome. Actually, this week, we're going to be doing a Shedhead episode, so we'll be pulling people in from chat to come hang out with us, so definitely stay tuned for that. Send us some emails with some questions and stuff like that. And with all that being said, make sure you guys tune in next week, same time, same place, every Monday, right here on the Vaping with the Ohmies channel. And with all that being said, we're going to end it as we always do, sending all those positive vibes, crisp by fives, and let's just vape on, Ohmies.
Well, goddamn,